afternoon. There aren't any kids in the afternoon. But you could check the licensing too, because like I said about the Minnesota child care facilities, they're open 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. or 24 hours or 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Those are two different licenses. You have a daytime license, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., and then you have a 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. nighttime license. And if they're going to be open beyond that limited number of hours, they have to have both licenses. And none of the facilities in Minnesota have both licenses. So they're violating state law by not having the two licenses, but nobody ever checks. So you can do a lot of work without actually, you don't want to be confrontational, just kind of be hidden and do your own research, but make those requests and stay on the state if you want that information. Keep making that request every single day until they provide you the information.
Good answer. Lisa B. Frampton says, how's little Joey doing? Little Joey's not doing too hot right now. And the answer to the second question, we're moving on from that one. And then Thinker for Life says, the clans are found where exactly? As far as the Somalian clans? Well, in Minneapolis, for instance, there's large communities of them in certain areas where pretty much it's just Somalian ran as far as who lives inside those areas. Cedar Riverside is one of those. Any other ones that...
The answer to your question is the Cedar Riverside area is where the clans are based. And it's weird because that Cedar Riverside area, so the west bank of the University of Minnesota comes from the river, the Mississippi River, over and touches downtown Minneapolis, and then it's 35W right there. That area is the west bank of the University of Minnesota. And when I went to the University of Minnesota, that was all student housing, all of it. And now it's all Somali housing. And that Cedar Square West was where the Somalis were first put when they came here. And then what they did is they harassed the other tenants until they moved out, or they filed false police reports against them to drive them out so that they could move more Somalis in. And once they had a sufficient population in there, they just took over the whole area. And we call that Little Mogadishu. And now there's a guy running for state senate. He's a Somali guy, and he wants to make that a no-go zone for white people. Minneapolis, he wants to make it a no-go zone for white people. It's just, I mean, when you think nothing more bizarre can happen, it does. And it's here in Minneapolis.
And we'll take a few more questions. And we also have some people who are becoming members. So thank you very much for becoming members. Members is a great way to support the channel. It's $5 a month. You help. Think of it as a way you're giving Nick an energy drink for the day. It's $5 a month, and you help support the channel. It really does go far, and it helps a ton. So if you do want to support the channel, you can become a member. Someone says, why are you not talking about the lack of online presence for these businesses? How are they getting clients without Google listings, reviews, LSA, ads, ... Well, the answer to that is, that's one way that we find out that these businesses are fraudulent. For instance, one of the daycares in our first video, the phone number led to the office of Tim Walz, the governor's office. So that's a good way to know if a business is fraudulent as well. So that's David, a lot of people in the chat are saying for you to run for governor, bro. David,
what's funny too is a
nice campaign for you.
What's funny too is a lot of these child care facilities, if they had a website, most of them didn't, but if they had a website, it was stock photos from like KinderCare and New Horizons, and you can do a reverse search on Google. You can say, well, this photo, it's a stock photo, right? They just took it and put it on their website, and it's like a white kid and a Hispanic kid, and you go, well, they don't have any kids at all. I mean, so it's the fraud is just so blatant and so obvious, and they've been getting away with it for so long that they just didn't care because they thought nobody would ever check. They weren't counting on me being out there.
They weren't counting on freaking Batman David to be out there.
No.
Thank you, Stando-Man27 for becoming a member, and the Resui 68114 for becoming a member. I mean, David, people in here are calling you to become the next governor. People are wondering, where's little Joey at? It's just a sad thing that little Joey doesn't really exist. But one day, little Joey will exist, and we'll take him to a daycare.
Yeah, so I think what I might do is start making energy drinks for kids, and little Joey can be the spokesperson.
Oh man.
For
I don't want to give out too many hints, but I think me and David are going to be meeting back up pretty soon to maybe go film another video somewhere else in the country.
And there might be someplace else we show up too that you know
Well,
might be kind of high
maybe,
profile.
and yeah, thank you, my overall 74 for becoming a member. But at the end of the day, I think a lot of people are just grateful for what you've done, David, and I am as well. And I think we're just happy to know that this fraud is getting exposed and that people are really, really actually caring about the difference that we, not me and you, but just we as citizens are able to make inside our own country. Because I think for so long people felt like, well, I can't really do much. Like I'm seeing this happen, but there's nothing I can do to stop it. But I think what me and you did was a little bit different as we showed people that quite literally two people, two very ordinary people can make a big difference inside their own community.
Right. And so when you hear about a Somali guy who has no education, he's never had a job, and he's walking through the Minneapolis airport with $1 million in cash in a suitcase, and you're going, you want to say, yeah, I mean, you want to curse. Just know that something is being done. Change is coming. You just got to stay positive, and you got to do what you can to help move the ball forward on this. And that's contact your elected officials and just hound them. When you send them an email or you leave them a voicemail, it's a big deal to them because they don't get a lot of emails or a lot of phone calls, and it matters. And if you just keep on them and keep on them and keep on them, eventually it's going to lead to change.
Yeah, I mean, me and you, we didn't even talk about the money leaving the airports. But that's a whole nother issue. And I think a lot of the fraud, they're going to have a hard time cracking down on some of this fraud because a lot of that money, the billions of dollars, has been shipped out of the United States, unfortunately.
Right. We're never going to get that money back. So let's just do what we can to stop the bleeding. Put a tourniquet on, and then let's start to heal.
Amen. Just the last few shout outs to some people who became members. Laura Gorma, thank you very much. And we also have Gloria Games, who's been a member for 11 months. So thank you very much. David, people are wondering, maybe we should start you up a YouTube channel, David. It's a lot of work, but people would probably love it. And maybe I know I haven't been posting as much on my YouTube channel because I have had these fraud videos and they do take a lot longer to make as far as getting all the information. I do have a new fraud video coming out from California in the next few days. That's going to blow your mind just to see how open and blatant and how dangerous the fraud is within that state. And then me and David are going to be meeting back up for another video. And
And
I
something
used to,
else.
and something else. I used to do these
Yep.
live streams all the time. People knew I used to do them out in public. I used to do man on the street live stream. But quite literally, after what me and David did, it is too dangerous for me to be going out live on the streets
Yeah.
in the United States, unfortunately.
Should we tell them what's coming up, Nick?
I think that I don't want to give any fraudsters any
Okay.
tips.
No.
Oh,
No.
that one too? I don't know if we can.
Okay. All right.
I think that'd be better, a little surprise. But
Okay.
yeah, like quite literally, it became almost too dangerous for me to be able to do my own job. I mean, you're going to see not in this. I don't know if it's in this fraud video in California or the next one because I have two fraud videos coming out from California. But just the story, kind of give you guys a glimpse of how dangerous what I'm doing right now is. I went to some daycares inside of San Diego, and for some reason, they all just happen to be freaking Somalian daycares. We just went to the addresses from the state's website, but they all, for some reason, came out to be Somalian daycares. We go to one, they start freaking out, they yell at me. Then we leave. We thought we had nobody following in behind us. Turns out we get to the next daycare. There's kids that have been abandoned. There's no teachers anywhere. Kids are just in the middle of this apartment complex where the daycare's at. Meanwhile, two Somalian cars pull up next to the car where I'm parked, and they surround the car, blocking the car from being able to leave. They hop out, and I honestly thought we were about to get in a shootout, if I'm being quite frank, because there's a bunch of Somalians just hopping in and out of these cars, and they all obviously knew who I was because um, when we finally got out, they all started yelling, "Nick Shirley, Nick Shirley, Nick Shirley." And it was a very dangerous situation because we had 2 cars completely full of these Somalian men, and we don't know what they were obviously going to do. But that's how dangerous it is for me to be going out and doing these videos. It's no joke. Security is extremely expensive to have, but it's necessary at this time. But literally, it's gotten so dangerous to the point where I can't even go out and say where I'm at on a live stream because of the fact that we have exposed fraud. And I know David experienced the same thing, but for me to be able to do these live streams out in the public right now, not really a possibility, unfortunately. Hopefully, there'll be a day when I can, or maybe I can go to some other countries and do live streams out in the public like I used to. Because trust me, I'm like itching to go do live streams out in public. Like that was like one of my favorite things to do was do IRL live streams talking to people. So hopefully we're going to figure out a way to do that, or maybe it'll die down a little bit. But I think it's just going to continue to get more and crazy because whether people know it or not, me and David's video became the most viewed video of all time on internet history. And yeah, it kind of changed both of our lives in a way that we didn't really think it was going to happen, both and good and in bad ways, I guess. But I guess that's just what comes with exposing fraud. Your life changed a lot since this happened, David?
It has, and I think the biggest change is that you find out who's on your side and who isn't, because there's no middle ground on this. You're either supporting what I do and you want to end this fraud, or you're going to pretend it doesn't exist, or you're going to call me a racist or whatever. There's just no middle ground. And like I said, I'm coming down the tracks, and you're going to either be on this side, you're going to be on that side. You can't be standing on the tracks. It's not a good place to be.
Very true. Yeah, and it's crazy to see how like it became so controversial, the topic of fraud as well. Like what we did, we just showed fraud. I remember like friends and other people or people who were friends of friends get mad. It's like, oh, this kid, like don't go around him because he exposed fraud. And it's like, that's really not like we didn't do anything bad. We were actually just showing people what was happening. But it's all good, David. And let's see, we got some new members. We got Little Buddy became a member. Julia Higgins became a member. Michelle, and Jane as well. And thank you very much, Albright FS. David, anything you'd like to say before we log off for the day?
Look, just keep the faith. Things are going to get better. Just know that there are good people out there working hard to correct things and to get to the root of all this evil and get America back to what it used to be. It's going to happen.
One last thing. I had one video I wanted to show on the topic of voter ID. In Somalia, you need voter ID now. But in Minnesota, you do not need voter ID.
Somalia's electoral authorities have started issuing voter ID cards across Mogadishu as the capital prepares for its first direct municipal council elections in decades under a one-person, one-vote system. Printing at the Somali Independent Election Committee headquarters operates around the clock in 2 8-hour shifts, producing an estimated 30,000 to 40,000 cards daily. Somalia's electoral authorities have started issuing voter ID cards across Mogadishu as the capital.
So in Somalia, you need voter ID, but not in the United States and not in Minnesota.
Nick, is that a prank video or is that real?
That's
Come
real.
on. Don't do that to me.
That's a whole nother topic. Literally
Oh my
in
God.
Somalia, you need voter ID, but not in Minnesota.
Unbelievable.
Make it make sense. All right, everybody. If you want to help support, you can become a member, or you can go ahead and get a quality Leering